So can you love a narcissist better? So many people get caught up on the fact that if they just try a little bit harder, if they just do a little bit more, all will be okay. However, it never works out okay. And there's a few reasons behind this. One, from the narcissist gaslighting, the narcissist training, the narcissist conditioning of your subconscious. And two, your commitment, your discipline, your loyalty to the narcissist because you care about them and you want the relationship to work with them. But can you love a narcissist better? Can you love their trauma away? The quick answer is no. It's their trauma. It's on them. You did not cause it. You cannot change it. You are not responsible for their behaviour. You are only ever responsible for your own. So this video is going to look into more detail of why you cannot love a narcissist better. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about the narcissist personality disorder to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with in your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. When it comes to dealing with a narcissistic person, their trauma is their trauma. We don't fully know what creates a narcissist. There is multiple theories out there of why people develop narcissistic personality disorder. On one, which often leads to the victims of a narcissist trying to stay and help a narcissist, trying to love a narcissist better because they can empathise with the narcissist, is that the narcissist has been through some form of trauma of themselves, that they have been a victim of some form of abuse, which a narcissist will usually tell you all about so that they can pity play with you to gain your sympathetic attention. So if they were abandoned by one of their parents as a child, which is on their parent, not the child, but if they've grown up as a child not recognising that it wasn't their fault, that's who their parents are, they're going to push you to the point where you want to leave the relationship. They're going to recreate that history in their present because it's the discipline of what they know, what they understand. So they're going to push you to the point of walking out on them. And then when you walk out on them, they're going to turn around and say, oh, you're just like my mother. You're just like my father. And when they've conditioned you to take a real dislike to their mother, to their father, you're not going to want to be like that person. So you're going to question your intentions, yourself, and more often than not, stay to try and help the narcissist. Now, we can all be the victim of something. We can all go through some form of personal trauma. Life's hard, life's painful, life happens. But it's not about life happening to us. It's about what we do about what has happened to us. When it comes to a narcissist, those that have been through some form of trauma. They did not choose to go through that trauma. It is not their fault that they was the victim. We can empathise with that. We can try and help them understand that. However, it is their fault, their sole responsibility, that they then victimise another person, that they hurt another person, that they traumatise other people. That is a choice that they make, knowing full well how it feels when somebody has done that to them, because they are a victim of something. Those that are a victim of something are a victim of something. They know how it feels and they make a choice to treat other people in that way, to victimize other people. That is their choice. When it comes to helping anybody with anything, that individual person has to recognise what they need help in, has to recognise what they want to change, and has to have the discipline to change it for themselves. Narcissistic people seem to have the discipline to recycle patterns of behaviour because that's the behaviour they've become accustomed to. That's what they know. So they're forever pulling that environment in towards themselves rather than breaking it. And this can be the same for a victim of a narcissist, unfortunately. When you get into that relationship, they love bomb you, they treat you so well, you care about your parents, you care about your friends, you want to make them happy, you want to make it work, you have empathy for them, you have that object consistency. So even when there's disagreements or arguments or they've hurt you in some way, you still care enough about that person to want it to work with that person. Therefore, you are disciplined to make the relationship work. You're the one that feels guilty for letting them down by walking away because you care about them almost too much, because you care more about them than you care for how much they are hurting you. When it comes to a narcissist, part of the criteria is the fact that they require excessive attention, that they are envious of other people, that they are entitled to have what they want, to do as they please, that they lack empathy, to care, and that they are incredibly exploitative people. Therefore, due to their envy, due to their exploitation, due to their lack of empathy, no matter how much you do for them, it will never be enough for them. They're always going to be changing the game on you. They're always going to expect you to just know how they want to be treated, and what works one week will not work the next week, as they continually keep you second guessing. So the more disciplined you get into behaving yourself around them to serve them, the more they will switch tactics on you to confuse you, to hurt you. You will never be good enough for those who are no good for you. No matter what you do for a narcissist, it will not be enough for them. They're always seeking more. When it comes to happiness, happiness comes from within, which many of us can struggle with. However, there are those that will go around and hurt other people, and those who will go around to try and help other people. Narcissistic people hurt other people because they feel envious of other people, so they get a twisted pleasure out of the pain of hurting other people. Those with empathy, who care about others, try to help others to get that pleasure within themselves. So in some ways we can become that disciplined in helping and loving a narcissist better, and believing that we can help them because it actually helps ourselves, not realising that we are hurting ourselves. With the narcissist gaslighting on top of that, who's going to shame us, blame us and twist everything on us so that we try harder to please them. And the fact that we can feel guilty for walking away from those that we care about. We want to help those that we care about. As a narcissist is looking for those external sources of happiness, they're always after the quick win. They're always after the quick fix. They're always after the moment of happiness, the day of happiness. They're not disciplined to go for the long-term happiness. As those with empathy often do have the happiness within, even if a narcissist steals as much as that joy as they possibly can from you, they're looking long-term. They're looking, if we just get through this patch, we can make it through a brighter patch. If we just get through this patch. And with a narcissist, reward, punish. When a narcissist punishes you, and you work harder to please and help them, and then they reward you, this conditions you to be disciplined in doing all you can to make it work, because then your subconscious believes that all you have to do is try a bit harder and all will be okay. However, it never is okay with a narcissist, because no matter what you do for them, it's never enough for them, and they're always going to change the game on you. People who have been hurt by other people, who know how it feels, who then make a choice to hurt others, are not the kinds of people you want to be around. People who have been hurt by other people, who make a choice to try and help other people, are more likely to get exploited by narcissistic people who are going to pull on that person's emotional empathy. The fact that the person can relate to the narcissist. A narcissist will play the victim to exploit a victim. When it comes to being a victim, when it comes to trauma that we've been through, narcissist or non-narcissist, it's our trauma that we have to deal with, that we have to work through, that we have to process, that we have to find new disciplines to step away from old disciplines that no longer serve who we are as a person. You'll notice more often than not the term narcissistic supply. Narcissists are always looking for new supply. A narcissist will try to get over their trauma by finding a new supply to gain that temporary relief from their trauma. They're disciplined to constantly find new sources of supply, be it people or belongings, to run from their trauma, usually leaving a trail of destruction behind them, causing others trauma. Those who are non-narcissistic, more often than not, get over their trauma by discovering themselves, by becoming self-aware, by finding what brings them true happiness, by becoming disciplined in educating themselves and helping themselves move forward with life. Narcissistic people move on very, very fast most of the time. It's not a one rule for all. Most narcissists move on very fast. They might not move straight in with somebody new. They might use someone in a friendship group. They might suddenly pick up one of their children. They might suddenly be there for one of their parents, but they will find some source of supply to exploit. Non-narcissistic people usually end up going into a shell, usually end up isolating themselves from people, finding it very difficult to trust people. And when they do let people in, their emotions can run on a high because they are protecting themselves, not realizing what they're doing because it's their subconscious thought process. And they might find somebody that can help them through. And because a non-narcissist has the empathy to care, they can relate that when somebody is helping them, when somebody is caring for them, they feel gratitude towards that person. They feel appreciative towards that person, and it does help them feel better. And because by somebody loving them helps them feel better, they are then led to believe that loving a narcissist more will help the narcissist feel better. Only it doesn't, because a narcissist is not interested on working on their trauma. They're interested in blaming you for their trauma, even though you did not cause it. We as people have to learn to discipline ourselves in many areas of our life, and we do have to learn to discipline ourselves around undisciplined people. Narcissists can be disciplined in causing chaos and destruction and drama. And this is when we have to step away from those people. We have to become disciplined in becoming non-reactive to them, because they know exactly what buttons to push to get those reactions from us. And as much as their provoking of us is on them and their behaviour, our reactions is on us. And there's so much psychologically that goes on behind that causes people to react, but we've been disciplined, we've been conditioned by the narcissist into reacting in that manner. And when you're conditioned by a narcissist into reacting in that manner, it becomes a pattern of behaviour, and it becomes a pattern of behaviour that we have to become disciplined enough to break that pattern of behaviour, to no longer react to them, to find something else to occupy our minds in the right way. You cannot love a narcissist better. You can love yourself better by finding the methods that work for you. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the comments. If you are looking for further support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have an online guide available, and the Teachable link is in the description. If you are looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the description. Thank you very much for listening. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Become disciplined on working on yourself and making the right choices for you. It might seem hard in the moment, however, life will get easier for you. The easy choice isn't always the best choice. Thank you for listening. Bye.